right, Tyler Perry of Loving You Is Wrong fans. Last night was the series finale, season 5, episode 12. Boom. I know that episode left a lot of people conflicted. It left a lot of people with a bad taste in their mouth. So many unanswered questions. But unfortunately, I'm not here to talk about that at this moment. I woke up from a nap because I had been up since 4 p.m. yesterday afternoon prepping for the series finale. I get a few hours of shut-eye just now, get back in bed. I got up, stretched for a bit, put some water in my eyes just because, I was like, okay, do I want to stay up? Do I want to go back to sleep? I'm like, okay, I'll get a few hours of shut-eye. Get back in bed, get on my iPod, check my notifications, see how my videos and everything doing. I get to Facebook, and I see an article, Good Morning America, several other news outlets. Apparently, Aunt Jemima, and yeah, I say Aunt Jemima. That's how I grew up calling. I know some people say Aunt Jemima, but I know of my family, we say Aunt Jemima. So apparently, they're doing a complete rebrand of the product, and I'm at a loss for words. Aunt Jemima character and brand name being removed from all products, and I initially was shocked. Like, I was born in 91, and I know that the I guess you could say the iconic look of Aunt Jemima now wasn't always how she looked when the brand first came out. And this brand is over 130 years old, and apparently due to criticisms and being based on racial stereotypes, which as a 90s kid, I think from my childhood, the only real or the first big, I guess you could say, rebranding of something that I can recall due to racial stereotypes was the Pokemon Jinx. A lot of people were saying that was blackface, so they ended up changing the Jinx creature from black to a light purple color. But when I saw Aunt Jemima in the morning, I ain't gonna hold you. I bought a bottle of Aunt Jemima this past weekend, cause Mrs. Buttersworth, I can't even say the name right because I just refuse to use that brand. And it's not because the bottle is in the shape of Mrs. Buttersworth herself. I think that's a cool design, but to me, that's too runny. When I pour my pancake syrup in the morning, whether it be on some pancakes, some waffles, and I don't know about y'all, but I'm a person that loves to put a little bit of syrup on. Even if I'm making like sausage and egg biscuits, I put a little dab of Aunt Jemima on the biscuit. I want it to be thick. I don't need to open the cap of the syrup bottle and then pour it out for a little drop and get half the bottle coming out. I don't want that. That's not syrup. That's sugar water. Aunt Jemima was thick. Like that Canadian syrup you see in movies and whatnot, where they put the stake in the tree and it takes like a long time for the syrup to come out. That's Aunt Jemima. But let me just say, again, I was born in 91. So I perhaps, my generation, I guess you could say, or at least, wasn't offended. But let me just say, I wasn't offended. Never in my life, I'm 28 years old, never in my life have I had anyone that I know say that Aunt Jemima was offensive. And yes, I happen to be a black man. And when I look at Aunt Jemima, I just look at the fact that I know they had a rebrand the way she looks now, with the pearls in her ears, her hair, I guess you could say more modernized. Like, I have family members, when I was young, aunts, and my mom kind of, gave me that same kind of vibe when I looked at the photo. Because I'm a person, one of my favorite memories as a kid growing up was, remember as a kid, the alarm clock, getting ready for school 5 days out of the week. And on the weekend, getting up to watch cartoons. That was the only day of the week I enjoyed getting up early. Sunday school with Holden. As a kid, you don't like to wake up early for nothing unless it's something fun. What was amazing to wake up to was the smell or even the sound of sausage and bacon crackling in the skillet on the stove. And sometimes I didn't wake up to that. But here's the thing. I sometimes had to wake up, go to the kitchen, but guess what? I might not smell or hear that bacon or sausage cooking, but when I saw Aunt Jemima on the counter, that smiling face, that reassured a brother. Breakfast was about to be lit. So in the day and age we live in now with Black Lives Matter and, racial equality and all this stuff, that is worthy of being fought for. All I'm saying is focus on the things that are going to make real change, because just because you take, to me, an iconic character from a breakfast product, I don't know. I have no words. I mean, it's like, I know the Quaker oatmeal mascot got changed around a few years ago. To, I guess you could say, to look more brand friendlier, because I remember as a kid he was iconic because Chucky from the Rugrats, I know he was scared to death of the guy on the oatmeal box, but I mean, his hat looks a bit colonial, almost like, slave master kind of hat. Should they get rid of him too? I got a lot of Quaker oatmeal instant cups in the cabinet because I love eating oatmeal now. At least 1 or 2 cups of that a day. So it's almost like you scraping away my childhood. Aunt Jemima, looking at her, even I will admit, yeah, you go back to the old original design. Yeah, that has the mammy looking design, but that bandana wrapped around her head, that just let me know she rolled up her sleeve. She's covered in flour. But when she comes out of that kitchen with whatever it is she making, oh, it's about to be good. Because, Aunt Jemima look like she throwing down. So, yeah, I understand why they would, I guess you could say, redesign that version of the character to a more modern version. But all I got to say is, I know when I'm pushing my cart down Food Lion or the aisles at Walmart and I don't see Aunt Jemima in the cereal aisle, the hot cereal part of the aisle where you got the oatmeal and the syrup and the pancake mix, I don't know what I'm going to do. So I don't know what they're going to change the name to. I don't know what they're going to switch the mascot to. But like I said before, if it ain't a black woman on that bottle, I ain't buying it. I ain't buying it. And like I said, Mrs. Buttersworth, no shade. I'm just not a fan of runny syrup. I know that Aunt Jemima has so many different, like they got the butter light, they got the no sugar, but give me the original. I make a point to buy the original. The only time I don't get the original bottle is if I decide to get the bigger version of the original bottle. So all I gotta say is, whenever it comes to movements and things like this, just pick your battles carefully. Not everything is offensive. So I know some people might disagree with me, but all I gotta say is, Aunt Jemima in my lifetime has never been something that felt degrading as a black person. That never made me feel like that's degrading black women. And I know everyone is entitled to their own opinion. And like I said before, there could be older people who look at Aunt Jemima and see more of a stereotypical negative perception of the black woman. But to me personally, Aunt Jemima was just reassurance that this brand was about to be amazing, especially seeing a black woman. And again, I'm talking about my childhood growing up, even my teenage years and in adulthood, 28 years old. Sometimes I go home, my sister is fixing pancakes for my nephew, and she'll be like, "Hey, Jeremy, you want a pancake? What you got, Aunt Jemima? What else we got in this house? Put me a couple in the skillet." That's what I'm talking about. That's it. I'm done. That's all I got to say. And I'm sorry for the fake out at the beginning of the video. I will do my Loving You Is Wrong series finale review, but dang it, I feel like this is a personal attack on black breakfast. And then not even necessarily black breakfast, because I know a lot of white people who enjoy Aunt Jemima as well. That's it. What's next? You're going to go out to Uncle Ben? Well, I would say Uncle Ben, but I don't really like rice, so I really can't sit up here and, defend Uncle Ben. But Aunt Jemima, y'all got to do better. That's all I got to say. Just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. Subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, comment your thoughts below. What do you think? Do you completely disagree with me? Do you have any fond childhood memories of Aunt Jemima? Will you continue to buy the brand even when they change it around? Like, it just ain't going to be the same not looking for Aunt Jemima. It's almost like changing Fruit Loops to something, I guess you could say, I don't even know a good name, or Frosted Flakes. It's iconic. Aunt Jemima just rolls off the tongue well. I know I studied advertising in college, so whatever it is, it better be appealing. I know Aunt Jemima was appealing to me.